Hey you guys, it's Chloe. I just wanted to say I was really impressed with all the stuff that I saw with the videos this week, and yes, I'm wearing my Seahawks stuff because of the Super Bowl. I know we're not in it, but I'm a diehard Seattle fan, so I had to represent. So the first one I want to talk about is Reiko, your video on kettlebell swings. Loved it. I thought you did a great explanation. It was really cool to hear about your experience with the athletes because I work more with just, I guess, average individuals. So it was really cool to hear you talk about the emphasis on the hips and how this is really a movement derived from hip power. So I really loved your modification of the pull through. Instead of your kettlebell swing. For me, I guess I work with more of a sedentary population, sedentary and more average and more elderly, so probably 45 and up. So what I've noticed is when they do kettlebell swings over and over and over, especially in circuit training stuff, they really get that tendonitis right here in their elbows, especially if we're doing like a back day soon thereafter. We're doing a lot of supination and pronation gripping. So what I've seen is compression sleeves worn. I mentioned this in my first video because I also love the kettlebell swing, but I've also seen them just regress and do a deadlift. They're technically two separate movements, but I think they can be used interchangeably just because we are really working that posterior chain, right? So the glutes all the way down into the hamstrings. So I really like to use this one as an alternative, especially if their back is hurting. Go down a little bit in weight, as I always tell them. Better be safer and feel that movement out and have the correct form, right? So having their movement pattern down, #1 priority. So I'm in my lovely room here. I'm usually in the gym, but this is all the time I had to do this. This is when I wake up. I do my stuff from like 6 to 9 a.m. and I'm on West Coast time, and then I go to work and I'm at work all day, and so I just decided, let's do it now. All right, so here's my kettlebell. All right, so with that deadlift, I'm gonna keep that same form with the feet positioned shoulder length apart. Super important that we start with that and that our shoulders are down and back. We have that neutral spine. All right, we're gonna have a tight little core here, so when we come down, we're not gonna collapse. We're gonna stay nice and tight. I'm gonna do this one from the side so you can see. Bending at the hip. Knees are soft, slightly flexed, coming down the center. Once we've met that hamstring max, right when we feel that stretch, coming on up and flexing those glutes. As you can tell, it doesn't involve the swing phase. So because it doesn't involve that, it's gonna take that pressure off the elbows there. But if they want to get a little bit more upper body when they come up, they can feel free to try to row it up as well. I've seen some of them try that as well, but a lot of them will just regress into just this bottom part right here, which is totally fine. As long as they're still getting that benefit right back here, that's really what matters. Coming down the center and coming up. Of course, this one's a little on the heavy side. So people that I probably wouldn't do this with are people with like extreme lumbar back issues, just because I really want them to be able to let their lumbar spine relax and you know, not be aggravated, and they won't have to go home icing their back. So some really good ones, and I really love this non-traditional exercise. I do it a lot for conditioning. Awesome job. Thanks, guys.